The people you see on the screen are the first firefighters who helped put out the fire in Beirut before the big explosion. None survived. Amid all the chaos and the initial shock and the many footages that were observed about the unexpected explosion, rumors have circulated that suggest that this did not happen by chance. A terrifying mystery that is being put together and obtained more and more body with the passing of days. Don't go anywhere, because my name is Leonore Clay, and this is The Darkest Secret. Today we present the mysterious banned video of Beirut. At the time of posting this video, more than 200,000 people had been left homeless after the explosion of August 4th. But the most unfortunate thing, so far, 4,000 injured that the accident had left, and above all, the unfortunate deaths that at this moment already exceeded 200 people. Not to mention the enormous damage, leaving almost half the city under the rumble in images that without a doubt, that remind us of settings of a science fiction movie. But beyond these terrible losses, that over the years, unlike everything in life, will become only cold numbers in the history books. The question that many are beginning to ask is, why did this happen? Is it just the result of negligence? In case you didn't know, the official source says that the explosion occurred due to ammonium nitrate that for years was abandoned in that place, and that the product of fireworks produced what we all saw a week ago. Although that is the official source, many say that the truth goes much further, much closer to planning an attack. The above is nothing more than a theory, one of those that always comes out when something like this happens. However, the voice that set off the alert signal was given by the current president of the United States, Donald Trump, who in the middle of a conference affirmed this.
On Lebanon, you called this an attack. Are you confident that this was an attack and not an accident?
Well, it would seem like it based on the explosion. I've met with some of our great generals, and they just seemed to feel that it was. This was not some kind of a manufacturing explosion type of event. This was seems to be, according to them, they would know better than I would, but they seem to think it was a attack. It was a bomb of some kind, yes.
An attack? Could it have been? As the days go by, strange things have come to light. What at first was cataloged only as a fire, from the new records that have emerged, suggests that no longer it is so clear. Without going any further, the approximately 2,750 tons of ammonium nitrate left in that port of Beirut is wrapped in a rather cumbersome nebula. There was a ship that once transported this material that is said to be very precarious for this type of cargo. A mysterious owner who left both the ship and its crew completely abandoned and to their fate. And that's not to mention the bureaucratic entanglement that arose from this matter, and which resulted in the deposit of this material in one of the many warehouses within the city's port. Both these strange circumstances that allowed the cargo to be left there, plus the statements of one of the most powerful presidents on the planet, realize that something else is hidden behind this sinister incident. Not surprisingly, there have been many forums that have been exclusively dedicated to addressing this hypothesis. A hypothesis that just a few days ago was unexpectedly reinforced with a couple of pieces of evidence that for many ended up convincing. It was one of our subscribers who through an email gave me a couple of shocking records that, according to him, stains this whole story with mystery and elevates the sayings of President Trump even more. We do not know if it is true. Perhaps it is a very elaborated assembly. Unfortunately, I could not find the original video without the inversion of colors to know if it is achieved or not, to notice what clearly appears to be a missile. However, the surprising thing is that it is not one, but two cameras that recorded the same event in different perspectives. An event that captures this missile hitting exactly the place where the dangerous chemical was stored. From the hand of any tragedy, there are always people who see things beyond, things that go unnoticed in a fraction of a second. Without going any further, look at what my audience managed to collect from all the videos that were recorded of the explosion. Digital manipulation? Whim of nature. The truth is that both in the occult and in spiritism, it is said that behind a bad intention, there's always something that reveals it. Reflections of evil, if you will. It may be that these records are perhaps just coincidences, and that trying to associate them with something of a paranormal nature is far-fetched. But ask yourself the following question. Can we say that these records are manipulated? My thought is that as long as there is no reliable evidence that indicates that these records are false, the doors of doubt should always be left open, and not to take anything for granted. What conclusions can one draw from this sad episode? Without a doubt, many and all kinds. However, the most terrifying, the most real thing about this is, as I said at the beginning, the regrettable lives lost that this explosion left behind. Lives that even in the worst case scenario were brave and willing to lend a hand without looking at the consequences, fearless and unaware of what was coming, did not hesitate to be there, helping, trying to collaborate on what was necessary to avoid a major catastrophe. Courageous people who never imagined that this would turn into this. A terrible incident, but also surrounded by a halo of mystery that leaves us with a thread of uncertainty. Since whatever the reason may be in this case, will all those questions that are now unsolved be answered? Will we know the real origin of everything? The investigations into this incident are just beginning, but we already know that in the past we have had experiences like this, explosions of similar sizes, and that even today they continue to leave unanswered questions. You know what I mean. Can you imagine that both events have a common source? That they were one of the same, of a colossal power that no one even begins to suspect. I hope you liked this video, because we have reached its end. My name is Leonore Clay, and this was The Darkest Secret.